You think about, hey, yes, we are giving $37,500 to folks that are going to be up here, right, in different amounts. But not only think about how we can give them money, but think about how we can support them in other ways. Can we introduce them to somebody? Can we find customers for them, etc.? Okay, so as a mindset, as a community, let's think about the ways that we can support folks coming up today. Okay? Awesome. Okay, so last thing, I just wanted to make sure that I thanked P33 and TechRise for being incredible partners. You guys are amazing organizers. Today has been fantastic. It's going to be fantastic. So Lucy, Alonzo, and Dan, thank you so much for today. This has been really great. So thank you to you guys. Okay. So in introducing our amazing judges, we're going to do something a little bit different. Usually the MC goes through a whole bio of the person, and then they just sit there and then they wave. And so what we'd like to do is to actually have them come up as if they were presenting and talk to you and tell them a little bit about themselves. Because again, we're amplifying everybody, so it's not just the founders, but also the judges themselves. So if I could have Alex Godsa come up. Oh, you thought you were going first, Carlos. I see how it is. Founder of AGG Consulting. Alex.
First and foremost, I came prepared to wave to everyone. But my background, I have always been committed and with great passion for two things: people and community, their communities and organizations. My background includes 20 plus years in both corporate, small business, and as an aside, I have been participating in what I call my civic engagement for many, many years, sitting on various boards, because it's at the board level that decisions are made that impact our communities. On the business side, it has been a pleasure working in the corporate world with national responsibilities, but more than anything is the contributions in consulting in small business, in the area of small businesses. That is the impact that the creation of wealth, the creation of our presence in this economy as Latinos, and that has, I'm very passionate about that. Some of you may know me, you may have seen some of the work, and I hope to see and interact with all of you, and I wish those that are pitching the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, thanks for giving your time. And then next up, as our esteemed judges, will be Caroline Sanchez Grosier. She is the founder of CSC Consulting Group, which, by the way, if you haven't figured this out, the acronyms are their names.
Why not, right? Easy to remember. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. I guess I can start by saying, I've taken different paths in my journey where to bring me to here today. Starting as a middle child of 11, I'm an immigrant from Mexico, from Michoacan. And being the first gen and studying business, CPA, worked in corporate for 8 years. Now realizing that my passion is what I've done now for 37 years as an IT tech entrepreneur. And I'm, as I say on LinkedIn, I'm 1% Latina tech entrepreneur 37 years ago, and I still am that today. So for that reason, so what we do with CSC Consulting Group, we're an IT services provider to schools, small businesses, and nonprofits, helping them, supporting them, ensuring that they grow and they get the right tech support, because as was said earlier, tech is everywhere. It's no longer a separate sector or a separate field. It's in everything we do. But seeing that our stats still look very bleak, 5 years ago I decided to step down from my day-to-day operations and having my son, my nephews, my next generation of employees lead the company. Well, I launched a nonprofit called Latinx Digital Leaders Now. Yes, we need to be leaders, we need to do it now. It's pervasive, technology is, and if we don't stay on top of all these emerging technologies like AI, cybersecurity, and all those things that we hear about, it's really going to leave us behind. So yes, technology, I don't think will replace us, not for a while, but it will replace those that are not a part of it. So that's what I do, the ecosystem of education, workforce, and community. And I'm also an investor with Angeles Investors. I'm one of the founding members. So I'm happy to be here, be a judge, and to see that this community will thrive. It continues to thrive. It has been thriving, but now see it in more tech and more in the spaces of growth. And to see that the potential and representation really not only brings that economy to our communities, but also to our country. So I think we're the biggest, fastest demographic, and our presence really contributes substantially. So I'm happy to be here. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Caroline. It's incredibly impressive. Apparently, Caroline got the memo that orange would be the theme today. Very cool. Nobody told me. That's cool. Everyone was fun. Okay, so next up is Carlos Covarrubias. I introduced you like 10 times each time I do it wrong. Carlos Covarrubias from a VP from Hyde Park. Come on up, Carlos.
Hey everybody, I'm Carlos. I work at Hyde Park Venture Partners, which is an early stage fund here in Chicago. We invest in early stage software, so I think of like 2 people and a little bit past an idea, and we can write anywhere from $500,000 to a $4 million check. I also help start Angeles, which some of you guys may or may not be familiar with, but it's a Latino angel group focused on Latinos. And then I was born in Mexico, like Dennis. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Carlos. And just so everybody knows, our Angel Path program partners with Angeles Investors, so we're very thankful for that relationship as well. Okay, now for the good stuff. So just as a reminder, 4 minutes for each pitch, plus 4 minutes of QA from our esteemed judges. Judges, what we'll probably do is kind of go right to left, and then you guys can organize yourselves a little bit, if that makes sense. Does that work? Okay, so then you have a job to do. In addition to thinking about how you can support everybody, I want to hear you guys clap super loud when they come up, and then super loud when they're done, okay? So we're going to try that with the first person, and if it doesn't work, we're going to try it again, okay? You ready? Okay, all right. Can we put the next slide up? All right, so first up, Mayra Khan from Hire a Latino.
Thank you, everybody. So, my name is Mayra Khan, and I'm the CEO of Hire a Latino. And first thing that I wanted to show you is, did you know that 2024, the U.S. GDP report showed that $3.4 trillion is the economy that has incremented and shown that Latino entrepreneurs are contributing to the economy. So 85% of those companies reported struggling to find skilled and diverse talents in all over the world, all over the United States. So what's the problem here? Latino professionals have barriers to find opportunities, limited exposure to international markets. Companies overlook Latino talent, and they're missing out on a lot of talent around the world. So we created a platform called Hire a Latino. In this platform, you'll be able to connect to U.S. companies with the skilled Latino talent all over the world, empowering through diversity, access to global opportunities for Latinos, and actually, companies can gain access to diverse workforce. So how does it work? A job seeker will upload their resume, their credentials, show skills, access premiums. Employers will conduct interviews from the platform, enhance pre-screening process, and access to premium qualified candidates. In the market size, we do have 1.5 million companies are U.S. hiring talent. 160 spend annually on recruiting. $1.4 billion is the revenue opportunity in this little market. And 1.5 to 5 billion is the total addressable market that we're trying to achieve. Now, our current state right now, we have 7,500 job seekers already on our platform, and we have 50 companies that are already hiring. So now, on our phase 1, we already did a lot of social media, site development, even campaigns for workers and employers. In fact, right now, we're building a partnership with different organizations, so if you know anybody or someone that we can partner with, so we can get more job boards created. So we unlock this scalable growth and through targeted campaigns. So the cost to acquire a customer is $133, and the annual value of a customer is $300 to $750. So we do have the approach to constant gains, and our competitive landscape, I mean, you probably heard of Fiverr, you probably heard of Hire Latam, or key differentiators of us as Hire Latino. We do have a focus on Latin talent. We have premium services like hand-picked profiles and tailored specialized team like payroll and also cybersecurity. So on our revenue model, when we have explored like a plan, so we have the $55 per month premium plan of $89 and enterprise plan. So the milestone growth right now is on year one, we want to achieve at least this year $20,000 by the end of the year. Year two, we want to achieve 30,000 job seekers, 200 companies, and 100,000 in revenue. And that's very conservative. We really wanted to just be very conservative in this approach, and on those projections in year three, we are hoping to get $500,000 in revenue. So if you're looking to spend a little money, we would ask you to come and fund this Hire Latino, $100,000, where we will spend 10% on infrastructure and security, business development, enhance our platform, and also marketing and communication. And this is the impact of the success. Companies, Latino professionals, and the whole world is going to be ours. So with that said, this is part of our team right now. It's the person that you're talking to right now, Sam, and he is an experienced IT in over 20 years in IT and cybersecurity, and Jorge, who also has management and coaching. And with that said, I'm always very grateful for you, for your attention, and thank you very much for your time. And the last thing I want to say about Hire Latino, since we grow so much as Latinos, we want to help other Latinos grow around the world. Thank you.
Nothing?
Is this for domestic or international Latinos?
For Latinos around the world.
I would say, my question that comes to mind is, there's many out there, similar platforms. And always the challenge is bringing in a diverse talent pool. So you cater to that market. What's your competitive advantage that you have built in your platform that where they would choose you over another more well-known platform like Indeed or others like that?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for your question. Sorry. So here's a key differentiators is like focus on Latino talent is majority of these platforms you pay them through the platform, but sometimes there's not a secure connection, or not even that, like they don't even tailor or specialize or handpick your profiles. You have to put the work. So we do have a premium tier where you would be able to put your job posting, and we would be able to handpick whoever is good for you. So in other platforms, you would have to put in the work. This one, we also have the payroll and the cybersecurity there, that you can even interview through our platform. And this one is global as well.
Thank you very much for your presentation. My question is somewhat similar, the competitive advantage, but who are your competitors? Who are you going up against? There are some platforms out there that already are targeting Latino talent also.
So right now, I gotta say that I have another company where we do have a managed skilled workforce in different parts of the world, where we actually customize and manage we manage them as a job seeker, as an employer that's looking for a job. So with that, we have instituted a lot of different companies all over the world. So we're physically in Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, Philippines, and Pakistan, but this one will be catered more for Latinos. So what this happens here is, are the key differentiators for Fiverr and Hire Latino and AMBA. What they do is they just simply make their platform work. With this one, we're physically going to go direct to universities and in different parts of the world to go to career fairs and all of these different things that we would be able to capture the market directly.
Wonderful. All right, let's give it up for Mayra. Wonderful. Okay, thank you, Mayra. Fantastic job. Fantastic job, judges. Thank you for battling through the technology issues, but I think we have two things now. All right, so next up, we have Ivan from Trinum Apps. Give it up for Ivan.
Muy buenas tardes, bienvenidos. Nosotros somos Trinum Apps y nos especializamos en llevar negocios como los ustedes a la era digital. Es decir, desarrollamos aplicaciones móviles que actualmente son muy importantes para cada negocio. Es muy importante saber que el 33% de los millennials actualmente ya pueden utilizar esas aplicaciones en la vida cotidiana. No me puedo ver ya un mundo sin esas aplicaciones. No trates de vender, ayuda a comprar. ¿Cuántas veces nos hemos encontrado en los restaurantes estos menús rayados con marcatextos para hacer una actualización? O en las ventanas, cartulinas pegadas para poder anunciar algún producto e incluso algún descuento. Esto es porque les genera un costo para poder hacer una actualización. El que no escucha, no vende. Trinum Apps, nosotros no vendemos aplicaciones, vendemos lo que son soluciones de marketing móvil para ayudar a impulsar el crecimiento de los negocios. Y ahora tú también lo puedes hacer. Una aplicación móvil lleva a una experiencia, lleva a lo que es una recompensa y una fidelización para el cliente. Pero también es muy importante que a los negocios les ayuda a mejorar su imagen, a mejorar su productividad y lo que todos los negocios necesitan, aumentar sus ventas. Si la oportunidad no toca, hay que construir una puerta. Nosotros hemos trabajado este año con Little Village y patrocinamos lo que son 6 aplicaciones desde Ohio, Chicago, Puerto Rico e incluso México. Y vamos a seguir haciendo una aplicación que es muy importante para nosotros, ayudar a todos estos comercios que están en la villita, que nadie nos reconoce, estos negocios ambulantes, para poderlos llevar a otro nivel. Así que nosotros hemos creado apps comunitarias. La primera, lo que nosotros hacemos es face to face, ir con los clientes, hablar y enseñarles un poco qué tan importante es poderse subir a la era de la tecnología. Por eso estamos nosotros por debajo de la competencia aproximadamente de $3,500 a $4,000 en nuestra aplicación. Es decir, que es un costo accesible para que un negocio no pierda esta oportunidad de crecer, que realmente pueda estar dentro de su capacidad de poder invertir. Así que esto es algo de lo que hemos construido en este año. Estamos muy contentos y no solamente nos vemos aquí, sino nos vemos en Puerto Rico, en México, en otros estados, porque actualmente una aplicación es algo que está de moda, sino que existe desde los años 90. Nosotros ya teníamos esto, pero conforme va pasando el tiempo, se va actualizando y a veces no queremos ver esa importancia y esa relevancia que tiene actualmente una aplicación. Si va a pasar es porque yo quiero que pase. Nosotros somos una empresa que ha nacido en Little Village, que ha trabajado de la mano con los negocios, que vemos la problemática que actualmente tiene y por eso tenemos que estar trabajando constantemente, visitándolos, estamos dando talleres, consultoría totalmente gratis, porque ellos no tienen el conocimiento, solamente quieren avanzar. Nosotros el primer año vamos a emplear a 2 personas, vamos a patrocinar 5 aplicaciones más por año para ir creciendo. Vamos a trabajar de la mano con negocios y organizaciones sin fines de lucro. Nos vemos en Puerto Rico y en México desarrollando aplicaciones también. Bien hecho es mejor que bien dicho. Al llegar a este país es muy común escuchar esta frase: el peor enemigo de un latino es otro latino. Yo soy Iván Aguirre, soy licenciado en diseño gráfico con maestría en publicidad, siempre preocupado por la comunidad y por los negocios. Estoy dispuesto a seguir trabajando de la mano junto con ustedes para poder ayudar a estos negocios que tanto nos necesitan. Así que, si tienes el coraje, ya ganamos. Vemos un Little Village con tecnología avanzada y vanguardista, comunidad en crecimiento, vemos negocios en otro nivel, un incremento del 300%. Y entonces, yo te pregunto, ¿cuándo empezamos a desarrollar tu aplicación? Muchas gracias.
Hola, sí.
Hola.
So, lo que estás vendiendo es servicio, ¿sí? Como no es una aplicación que ellos pueden como hacer solos.
Sí, lo que nosotros hacemos es desarrollamos aplicaciones móviles personalizadas para los negocios. Es decir, que cada negocio puede...
¿Cuánto tiempo se toma como cuando ellos...
Ok, existe competencia. Quiero hablar de esa parte que está... hay empresas que generan aplicaciones actualmente, pero son empresas hindús, que es decir, que el capital no se queda en el país, sale porque ellos tienen sus diseñadores allá. Lo que nosotros hacemos es tenemos una empresa aquí en Little Village, en la 26, y nuestro periodo es de 4 a máximo 8 semanas en desarrollar las aplicaciones. Esto hace que baje obviamente el costo de nivel para poder ayudar a los negocios. Un promedio de una aplicación cuesta entre $70,000 y $80,000, por eso las grandes empresas es que las tienen. Tenemos que llevar a estos negocios a competir, a que sus marcas estén por encima del nivel que actualmente lo tienen.
¿Y en el precio? Como...
$3,500 inicial, un promedio. Así es.
Se escucha como es muy económico el paquete que ofreces. Mi pregunta es, ¿cómo les ayudas a... Bueno, primero, ¿cómo escoges el cliente? ¿Cómo lo escoges? Porque hay muchos que lo pueden utilizar. Y segundo, ¿cómo les ayudas a escoger qué aplicación se enfoca?
Ok, muchísimas gracias por la pregunta. En este momento todos los negocios, las pequeñas y medianas empresas son un pilar muy importante para la economía del país. Por lo tanto, todos los negocios lo necesitan. ¿Cómo es que nosotros los ayudamos? Tenemos 54 funciones que hace, dependiendo del negocio, damos nosotros hincapié qué es lo que necesita, desde barberías, desde restaurantes, desde hotelería, desde comunidades, estas empresas que pueden tener desde pastelerías, desde la persona que corta cabello. O sea, tenemos 54 funciones que hace posible que cualquier negocio de cualquier giro pueda obtener una aplicación.
Buenas tardes.
Muy buenas tardes.
Varias preguntas. Por ejemplo, si usted dice que está aquí en la villita, ¿cuántas personas ahorita trabajan para usted y para su compañía?
Ok, actualmente somos 8 personas, entre diseñadores, publicistas, personas que generan ventas y yo que soy la parte importante del desarrollo.
¿Y todos aquí?
Estamos en la villita, así es. De hecho, aquí está mi equipo, un aplauso por favor. Parte de ellos que están aquí.
¿No han pensado en, por ejemplo, utilizar diseñadores en Guadalajara o en otras partes, en otros países latinos?
Claro, estamos ahorita trabajando principalmente en casa, por eso mencionaba que es muy importante que nos vemos en Puerto Rico y en México. Esto no es una necesidad local, sino es una necesidad mundial.
Wonderful, wonderful. I love the energy. I need that energy at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's fantastic. Thank you, Ivan. Okay, you guys are doing a great job too. Keep up the energy. For our third presentation, Daniel from Hearts in Action. All right, Danny, come on up.
Alright, so the 911 call that you just heard was a daughter making a phone call for her mother who bled, went into cardiac arrest, and unfortunately passed away here on the west side of Chicago. Ultimately, any unintended injury or situation that goes up unneeded, then CPR, it's unfortunate that the person will have good survival rates. In a situation like this, we can't just rely on 911. The reason being is that the times are awful. The times are currently not working with our survival rates. As we can see, clinical death happens within 6 minutes of a person collapsing, and the time frames are just not there. So we need to prepare ourselves with adequate training to be able to save lives. At Hearts in Action, or in HIA, we're simply training individuals so that way they can prepare themselves so they can have the skills to be able to save people's lives and be able to pretty much empower themselves with skills that are not so common in our neighborhoods. These life skills are essential to pretty much have a survival rate that increases in our Latino community. The facts are there. It's proven that training actually saves lives, but it's not so common here in our neighborhood since there's a lot of barriers that we face as Latinos. Some of those are the lack of access to the trainings because of the cost, the language, and the barriers of fear. But again, having trainings, as you can see, no one's safe from cardiac arrest. How it works, this is typically how it works. So we have our audience members that are mandated to have this training, and then there's the general public. One niche that we focus on is pretty much the Spanish-speaking population, which is the underserved most population that's not well in training in these type of trainings, and we rely on their experience to bring us referrals and more leads. First aid and CPR training courses, pretty much there's 5 key components, and one that we're flourishing is in the community health and safety programs. We find ourselves currently in these different areas as well through our trainings. So growing demand in health and safety industry. As we look, this is a $15 billion industry in which, unfortunately, the driving market is injuries and death. To keep up with the trend, we need to make sure that we're making sure that the technological advancement is the key to the trend, and we're making sure that to keep flourishing and growing, we need to keep up with that technology. So with our growth, we have doubled due to unfortunate current events throughout the nation, such as acts of violence, and due to the fact that public safety awareness trainings are not so accessible. But they contact us because simply we have Spanish-speaking instructors to the point where we're actually subcontracted with five safety trainings that do the similar work that we do because of the Spanish-speaking instructors and the work that we do. Our approach is simple, where we meet people where they're at, we're customer service oriented. Also, looking outside the box, we're innovators, such as we have a CPR similar ambulance, we attend community functions, you find us at different events throughout the city. We're so proud of the fact that not to understand where we are leading the way. We're training the most Latinos here in the Chicagoland area, where it's gotten us opportunities, and we're going to achieve the work that we've done. A couple of milestones that I'm proud of, literally starting from community block parties all the way until we're now, so literally pretty much constructing or obtaining a brick and mortar location, hopefully here in Little Village by the end of this year. And so we're looking to expand eventually to bring on medical supplies and bring on more medical training that are bilingual here in the community. Currently, we serve for these businesses here that you see on the board 25 accommodations of Pilsen and Little Village that we're happy to serve and will continue to serve. Purple surprise for us, so this is something that we plan to eventually, in addition to the 25 businesses that we serve, we probably look to train 25 more businesses with the funds that we hope to obtain by actually training the staff members and having those open seats available to community members so they can get trained to seek on the first aid. And then we invest in our business as well by hiring a local Latino marketing business so that they can help us expand this business. One thing that you would know after we train, actually I forgot to mention, is that there would be like a decal knowing that that facility has been trained to seek on first aid, so that way you feel safe coming to the hood. And the majority is that we want to invest in education technology, state-of-the-art technology, which is pretty much would help us to scale out and pretty much be a one-of-a-kind training center in which we currently provide trainings for that would allow us to escalate, because this technology has not been brought to neighborhoods like us, and everyone's really using, but it's shown to work and been proven to work, as well as have better results. This is our team right now currently. That it's combined with different first responders here in the neighborhood throughout Chicago, and we take pride in that they actually are subject matter experts in different fields of first responders.
Today we're gonna do.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. All right, judges.
So, when you think of the most effective way to learn CPR or whatever skill, like what, as it stands today, what is the most effective form to do that? Like, is it being taught by a person? Is it me watching TikTok videos of how to do it? What is effective? Not like witness, not anything else.
So definitely it's that personal touch and that personal experience that's been proven to work, but the hardest thing to pretty much replicate is the emotional contents, like the situation, the emotional feeling that normally when the situation occurs, you can't really replicate that in action. So by acquiring this technology, that will help us make decision-based scenarios that would actually force people to like pretty much make a decision. If not, then pretty much the person either passes away or doesn't survive, or will survive for that matter.
So I was trying to get a better understanding of how the training happens. Does it happen in their own home? Size, I know we had different events to participate with different clients because everybody having busy lives. You know, and I'm in tech and I do training as well, so I'm trying to understand the best way to reach that goal of training them. Is it on site? Is it hybrid? Is it virtual? Do you give them options? And some learn better one way than another. So how do you address those different ways of learning?
Yeah, so definitely there's different learning styles, and depending on your audience and the clients, some work best than others. So typically what I found always, the tech market, the type of work that we do, is always best to do hands-on, simply because again, you get to monitor the person, you get to have that emotional connection that most people sometimes don't get when they just go online and do the training out there. And also they want to be able to share their stories, their feelings, their experiences, and how they were able to encounter that situation what they did and walk away from it knowing.
Just a follow-up question. How long is an average session?
So an average session, of course, typically can range from 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on the group size, depending on if it's for medical providers or if it's for a lay person. But it's typically on average, we're looking at 2.5 to 3 hours.
And then the last question is, how do you show evidence that they've learned, 80% or X percent of what they were trained on?
But the current technology and the mannequins and get live feedback, we actually get to see the results through an app and that if they're meeting their goals of making sure that they're doing adequate questions or regulations or meeting that competency level. And then for medical providers, it's a test portion of
So actually have to prove it in practice
yes,
as well.
correct.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions. The first one is,
So for timing, just one.
just one. Who's your customer? Is it an organization or is it an individual or individuals?
So our customer varies, right? We have health providers, but our niche is the Latino community, in which there's hard to find Spanish-speaking instructors. So therefore, we have a team of like 6 of us to be able to provide these trainings throughout Chicago and area. And so that's why we currently are subcontracted by 5 different safety companies to be able to provide these trainings for them on their behalf. So we need to scale to their ability.
All right. Wonderful, thank you, Daniel, for Arms in Action. Well done. I was actually sharing with Daniel earlier today. I had breakfast with an uncle of mine, and in the breakfast place there was about 100 people, and then there was an actual emergency, and an older gentleman had passed out. And out of 100 people, only 2 people were able to help him, and everybody else was standing around. So super important stuff. And thank you for what you do in your day job as well. So thank you, Daniel. Awesome. Okay. Well, next up, the yummiest presentation, Katia from Canela, Granola. Come on up. She's got props.
Yeah.
You should be giving those to the judges. That's a clue for next time.
Buenas. ¿Sabían que el 60% de los consumidores en Estados Unidos buscan productos saludables? Pero se encuentran con productos llenos de aditivos y conservantes. A pesar de que el mercado de la granola vale 4.2 mil millones, encontrar productos realmente 100% natural es un verdadero reto. Aquí les presento, soy Katia, creadora de Canela, un producto hecho a mano, artesanal, con ingredientes 100% natural y con múltiples beneficios para la salud. Entre esos, controla el apetito, es alto en fibra, es rico en nutrientes, entre otros muchos beneficios. Actualmente vendemos nuestros productos en plataformas online y estamos ubicados en 7 lugares en la ciudad de Chicago. Aquí en La Villita, en Pilsen, Westloop, Lakeview, Logan Square. Estos negocios nos han dado la oportunidad de abrirnos un espacio en sus estanterías y así hemos podido dar a conocer nuestros productos. Actualmente hacemos parte de la cocina comercial de Food Hero, así que estamos preparados para ofrecer nuestros productos a un público más amplio. El mercado es enorme, de 4.2 mil millones y en constante crecimiento. Canela Granola tiene la oportunidad de hacer parte de este mercado. ¿Cómo lo vamos a hacer? Con campañas digitales. Las ventas en línea están creciendo a tasas de 10 y 15% anual. Necesitamos estar preparados para atender a esta demanda. Continuaremos haciendo eventos locales. Estos han sido importantes en el crecimiento de Canela, ya que en estos hemos conectado directamente con los clientes y así hemos podido escuchar sus preferencias. La competencia es muy amplia entre las grandes marcas nacionales, las marcas locales y las marcas lideradas por mujeres. Pero Canela Granola todavía tiene un espacio ahí para competir. El avance de Canela ha sido significativo. Hace 1 año y 7 meses estamos operando. Hemos aumentado nuestras ventas desde 40 bolsas hasta 250 bolsas mensuales. Creamos este nuevo producto y hemos participado en importantes programas en la Fundación Little Village, en la incubadora de Food Hero, que han también ayudado a que Canela Granola pueda pasar al siguiente nivel. Vamos con una proyección a aumentar las ventas y el uso de recursos. Los dividimos como en estas importantes áreas. que necesitamos para que Canela pueda crecer: el marketing digital, el desarrollo y optimización del sitio web, seguir con las vinculaciones de eventos, la investigación y desarrollo de productos y la optimización de la producción y logística. Entre el desarrollo del producto también está el empaque. Queremos lograr todas esas certificaciones. Aquí nos encuentran en todas estas plataformas como Canela Granola, con más de 15 años de experiencia en la industria del consumo. Tengo las herramientas para liderar esta compañía y mi pasión por la vida saludable me ha hecho crear este excelente producto. Así que queremos hacer parte del cambio de la industria alimentaria.
Gracias, muy interesante. Una pregunta que tengo, por ejemplo, dijo que eran 40, empezó con 40
Sí.
bolsas mensuales
Mensual.
y ahora está a
Es 250 bolsas mensuales.
mensuales. Entonces, el próximo nivel y cómo va a llegar.
Sí, el próximo nivel es que comenzamos en la cocina de Food Hero. Vamos a presentar propuestas a corporaciones, instituciones educativas como universidades, que vemos un espacio grande para trabajarle, y a gimnasios. Y bueno, y optimizar nuestra página web, porque sí necesita manos de profesionales para aumentar las ventas online.
So yo sí compro granola, pero lo que me sorprende es que cada vez que voy a la tienda, todos tienen added sugars. Like it's all horrible for you. But mi pregunta es, porque si la tenemos en la casa, en el trabajo, cuando piensas en tu customer, like, ¿qué tipo de persona eres? ¿Es un hombre o es una mujer? ¿Qué edad? ¿Qué todo eso?
Sí. Actualmente son mujeres, la mayoría, millennials, ahora con que todos queremos un estilo de vida saludable, quizás la generación X también por medio de las redes están viendo cómo promueven la salud. Ese es nuestro cliente, pero realmente este producto lo pueden consumir desde niños, porque la de Dark Chocolate la compran las familias para niños, desde niños hasta señores de 80 años. O sea, es un rango de edad amplio, pero estamos enfocados, por lo menos cuando vamos a empezar a hacer las campañas, en personas que les guste cuidarse y que busquen opciones saludables.
Claro que hay muchas opciones para granola y es difícil escoger uno al otro. ¿En qué forma te diferencias tu granola a otros, con las personas que están muy enfocadas en su salud?
Sí, bueno, una que es 100% natural. Parte del desarrollo del producto va a estar en el desarrollo del empaque, porque entre menos oxígeno le entra a la bolsa, más va a durar, y así no se utiliza conservantes ni aditivos. Ese es como los valores de la marca, y eso es una de las principales focos en el empaque del producto, para que la gente así pueda con confianza dársela a un niño o a un señor de alta edad, sin problema.
Y la segunda pregunta es en el precio. ¿Cómo ofrece un precio a qué nivel, qué tipo de cliente lo va a poder apreciar y poder comprar?
Sí, eso del precio ha estado en investigación, porque realmente cuando tú utilizas productos 100% naturales, que sean orgánicos, es un poco más alto. Pero bueno, vamos a vender a un futuro cantidades, esos precios van a bajar, pero actualmente la keto la estamos vendiendo en $10 y las normales, las que tienen avena, en $8.
Y la última, porque estaba viendo que los ingredientes, yo tengo un hijo que es vegano,
Sí,
¿Se puede considerar vegano?
todas son veganas menos la de dark chocolate. Que es así, el dark chocolate tiene un poco de leche.
¿Por qué no lo veo anotado?
Sí, tengo que resaltar todo eso, que es vegana, que es orgánica.
Gracias.
Katia, sí, ¿cómo podemos comprarlos hoy?
Ok, la encuentran aquí en la tienda de Food Hero.
Ah, wonderful.
Sí.
Okay, 50 orders. All I'm not sure I want to give chocolate to my kids. Lots of sugar. Okay, all right, next up is our final presenter, Marco from UltraFireSafety. Marco.
Buenas tardes. My name is Marco Alcala. I am the founder and CEO of UltraFire. We are a digital platform for fire safety compliance. Meet Mona. She's getting ready for the grand opening of her new store. She's excited, anxious, and a little bit overwhelmed. The last thing she needs is the fire marshal to come in and shut her down. Look, compliance, regulations, it's an inconvenience and headache for everyone, right? Well, this is especially true for the 33 million small business owners. And it's a problem because they can lose an average of $25,000 a day in sales or pay fines and fees. Then there's the legal risk. Last year, there was $700 million paid in property damage and negligence. So what's the solution? Well, there's the traditional fire safety companies, but they often lack the technicians and time. They don't offer upfront pricing, and they're limited in their service areas. I know these issues very well because my parents owned a fire safety company. And growing up in the business, I was inspired to create UltraFire. It's the first digital platform to give small business owners a convenient and automated way to be up to code and stay compliant. Here's how it works. You enter some basic information about the property, the system does an assessment, you choose a service that fits your needs, then you book an appointment at a time that works for you. The market for fire safety is 170 billion. Right now we're focusing on the 17 million businesses in lease space, and also the 21 million multifamily residential properties. Both these groups require the same fire equipment to be compliant. Then we're going to look at the commercial real estate that require additional fire equipment, just the fire alarms, sprinkler systems. We make on average $250 after the platform determines what services or equipment is required. And then on the, there's a recertification for $125 on the next visit. This is going to continue on for 10 years. And we'll make a lifetime valuation of $1,375 per customer. For our go-to-market strategy, we launched our MVP in 2017 and ran digital ad campaigns in 13 major cities. Now we get an average of visitors of 1,000 a month with a 20% conversion rate. We're completing our outbound sales program that targets new constructions and general contractors. They pay 20 times more than the average order size. We're developing strategic partnerships, right? To help minority-owned businesses, because 70% of fire code violations are found in underserved communities like Little Village and Pilsen. We're committed to changing that. Since our launch, we've generated over 1.75 million revenue and 23% year-over-year sales, all while bootstrapping. With your help, we can use the $25,000 to go ahead and expand to 7 more strategic chosen cities, and that will generate an additional $200,000 for us. And we're going to use that to cover costs for local content marketing, digital ad campaigns, and transitioning our part-time staff to full-time employees to support the increase in business. And we're going to reinvest that increased revenue into the company so we can expand our product line into other fire equipment that complement fire extinguishers. By 2026, we want to go ahead and fully transition to a recurring revenue model by managing the recertifications. Going back to my parents' business, so they gave me the opportunity to be the CEO. Under my leadership, we became one of the largest fire safety companies in Chicago with 50 employees and 20,000 customers. I exited the company so my parents can go ahead and retire, and I used the proceeds to start UltraFire. My passion and my team's combined 25 years in expertise drives this company, and we're growing. Look, everyone, the groundwork is already done. We just want to help these small business owners to forget about fire safety and focus on what they're most passionate about. Thank you.
Nice job. So, I hate you with a lot of quick questions. I'm a restaurant, I need a fire safety, so most of what I'm doing on the platform is scheduling someone to come in and give me the stamp of approval. Yes, that's like the product?
That's right. So there's the scheduling, but the first part of it also too is the platform is going to do an assessment based on the property type and also other factors like, for example, the zip code you're in. Because the requirements in, let's say, Little Pilsen, Little Village is different from the requirements like in Naperville.
Yeah. Who comes in? That's like a third external service provider?
That would be our service partners, right? So we have the service partners so we dominate the digital space and we work with the service partners that provide the actual services and products.
And they pay you how much?
But we pay them. So we collect that payment after we do the assessment, we do booking, right? And we pay it from them.
And if I'm a restaurant or a business, I have to get certified one time and then one time every 10 years?
Every year. So we're starting with fire extinguishers, which is an annual recertification. Now there's some other fire equipment, like for restaurants, every 6 months, because they have equipment called the kitchen suppression system in the back where they cook the burgers. Well, that's an every 6 months service. So so the way how it is, it's 3-stage process. There's a 3-stage process. There's the initial setup, and that's like when the grand opening of a store or a new residential building that goes up. And then there's the yearly maintenance for extinguishers. Now, restaurant has a 6-year maintenance. And then now also during the 10-year span, there's any damaged equipment or condemned equipment that has to be replaced.
Yeah. Last question, gross margin?
Yeah, so we make 50 to 60% for services, and then 70-80% for products. This after we pay our service partners. So they're actually the ones that provide the services and the products, which keeps our operational costs low.
So my question is around when you have a client and you make your business, how do you show publicly that seal has been passed and that our business has met all the guidelines and requirements?
Great question. So there's the traditional method of using a paper tag on the equipment, the fire equipment, that shows the city and also insurance inspectors who like to make surprise visits, as small business owners know. They just come at a whim. There's that visual, but that doesn't always work. Pen on paper, not always accurate. So what we're going to do is we're going to be keeping records and also having automation recertification process where that includes notifying the city and the insurance companies that their client or this business owner is up to date, to basically leave them alone.
So basically, so you have that evidence, data tracking to show the ultimate agency that client is taking care of. So you track that, document it.
Yeah, and we did this with my parents' business. I was the CEO too. We were given a digital copy of all the work orders, and we now, with this tool, with the platform, we're going to automate that and modernize that a little bit better.
Thank you very much, and thank you. A quick question, you talked about expansion into 7 other markets.
Yes.
What does it take financially to expand, and what are your, how do you go about doing it?
Great question. So what we did is the 7 next cities that we chose was based on data that we feel that gives us the best returns. There's the obvious one, which is population size, like LA, for example, right? But we're also looking at the volume of sub-markets, like warehouse distribution centers that pay 10 times more order size, and also the rate of new development.
All right, Marco. Wonderful. Excellent. Give it up to all 5 of the founders. Great job. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to take an intermission. So we're going to deliberate with the judges so that they can decide the order of the different amounts of money. So we're going to sequester them somewhere, I don't know where, maybe downstairs, across the street in the van somewhere. Dark van. And then, but you all have the opportunity to go back and eat the wonderful food, and I think we have some beverages that are going to be starting, etc. Somebody's going to be pouring some yummy wine, etc. So please indulge yourselves. We'll be back in 20 minutes to do the community awards and then the pitch awards. Thank you.